Hello, and good evening. Welcome to the FluffCast. I'll be your host for the evening, Axolotl Andy. Welcome to episode 14 of the FluffCast, which you're here for. Oh my god, Kibbles is here. We're a little low on host tonight, so I'm just happy Kibbles is here. Hey buddy.
Hey, what's going on? Everyone was muted when I joined, and I was like, what?
Funk is out doing a thingamawhatsit, and I did the intro just now.
Oh,
So it's just you
cool.
and me, Kibbles. We get to
Oh
talk about
my.
whatever we want. Menthol's busy doing something else. Lemon's
Uh,
indisposed. We don't have the new secret host coming in yet.
oh
So,
shit.
yeah.
Well, I learned something interesting.
What did you learn?
Do you know Agent Orange?
What is Agent Orange?
Agent Orange was a defoliant they used in Vietnam. It killed plants.
Oh, okay.
Super toxic, super carcinogenic, right?
Yeah.
Like really just terrible, bad for you. I have been exposed to it.
Are you all right? I'm just looking at some of these pictures here online. It doesn't look good.
No, it's not great. But
But uh, you can't leave me
um,
hanging
I
like that, Kibbles.
I might get some I might get some money out of it or something. I don't fucking know.
All right,
But
so
yeah,
here, okay. I was gonna do Flufftober tonight because the theme for today's is unsettling, but for those who don't want to Google Agent Orange, in which case you
yes.
shouldn't, here's what it looks like. Okay? So you've got your standard fucking human head, right? Only thing is that there's no eyes. It's just like this patch of flesh that happens here. And that's what happens to people with agent with this orange crap.
It's like that's a really extreme. Like I was exposed to small levels. Like I look good. Okay, I'm a handsome dude. I got eyes.
Kibbles is like, yo, I'm handsome.
But yeah, it was tested where I was born. So for the first about 3 years of my life, I was drinking it.
Are you alright? Do you feel any different? Does that explain your need for crypto fucking?
Listen, werewolves are sexy. Okay,
Werewolves are sexy. You should fuck a werewolf.
werewolves are sexy. You should fuck a wolf.
That's
Yes.
that actually brings on to our next thing here, which I wanted to wait for Funk for. But did you know what tomorrow is? You know what tomorrow is?
Tomorrow is 10/10.
Yeah, but you know what happened 11 years ago on 10/10?
I read it in the.
Yeah.
I wanted to make a joke. I wanted to make a joke, and I know that it would be taken bad.
What was the joke?
I wanted to say, "Oh, My Little Pony is officially old enough to be attractive to bronies."
Oh, that's rich. Oh,
I
that's so
want to make it.
good.
I want to make it, but I knew that it would come across like poorly.
I I think that's funny, man. That's freaking great.
Thank you, Carrie York. Werewolves are sexy. So I've got a story about a werewolf.
Tell me about your werewolves.
So there is in Wisconsin a little city called Elkhorn, right?
Yeah.
And in Elkhorn, Wisconsin, there is the Beast of Bray Road,
Tell me more about the
the Dogman
beast.
of Bray Road, right?
Yeah.
It is a legendary cryptid. They have a song about it, and honestly, the song's a banger. But I did a job in Beloit, Wisconsin, which is about 15 miles away.
From Bray
This was
Road.
last, yeah, 15 miles away from Elkhorn from Bray Road.
All right.
So one day after work, I'm like, I may never come back to Wisconsin. I'm gonna drive down Bray Road. I'm gonna see what I see. So I get there and it's pitch black. It's about 8 o'clock at night. It's super dark and it's snowing and it's windy and all you can hear is off in the distance the interstate. But besides that, it's dead calm. It's just dark and creepy. I'm the only one for probably about 2 miles. And get out of my car and I'm like, cool, here I am. I'm on the corner of, I think it was Schoolcraft and Bray Road. And it's like, this is the epicenter. This is where they see the Bray Road beast. So I'm standing there, and just across from me is a cornfield, and I hear something large rustling in the cornfield. And earlier I was joking with my girlfriend at the time. I was like, "Yeah, I'm going to see the Beast of Bray Road. I'm totally gonna get with this werewolf. I'm gonna fuck this werewolf." So I'm, ha ha, chuckle chuckle, and I'm standing outside my car, and just out in this cornfield, I hear something large rustling. My logical mind is like, okay, it's probably a deer. You're in the fucking middle of a cornfield in Wisconsin. Probably a deer. But my fucking lizard brain is like, there is a predator out there, run. So I did.
So you just ran back through the
I,
woods to get
I,
the hell
I
out of
got in
there?
my car and I fucking took off.
You didn't even fuck a
I
werewolf. What's going on with these
didn't
stories?
even get to fuck a werewolf.
Oh
Oh,
my
But I got
god.
scared.
talking about when the Beast of Bray Road saw your schmeat.
Yep. So yeah, that's my werewolf story. I may or may not have almost gotten a chance to fuck a werewolf, but I didn't because I got scared.
I mean, hey, look, the good news is that werewolf showed some restraint and was like, hey, he's not ready.
Yeah, you know what? My body is always ready. You just got to surprise me with it, you know?
He's not ready before both screaming.
It's true.
Needs to get brought back.
Honestly, like, just a big werewolf, like just a big buff werewolf holds me down. And I'd go from screaming to going like, oh, okay, no, that's fine.
No, we're good here.
I see what you're getting at.
Bunk, how do you do it, man?
How do I do what?
I watch your streams and you just get bodies down so easily. You just
I don't
nail
know.
it.
We're talking playing games or just getting what we're doing? I'm sorry. I'm lost. I just got back.
Oh,
I
what's
almost
it?
died.
Are you all right?
Oh no, I'm fine. I've had a little bit of intestinal trouble today.
Oh, I'm sorry about that, my man.
Nah, it's all good.
What was it? No, I'm watching your art streams and you just like, you get the arms shaped all right. I can never get arms shaped right. I always know where things go, but they're always shaped funkily.
Half of it is just. I'm trying to think of the best way to put it. Sometimes I just freestyle. Sometimes I will actually have a reference. Sometimes I just gotta like freestyle it because if I don't, I'll try to stick too close to the source and I'll tend to fuck that up. So
Let's see. Today's Flufftober prompt is not upsetting. Unsettling. There we go. So I'm drawing an abstract kind of fluffy.
oh boy.
Christ. But I was mentioning it with Kibbles just before now. Tomorrow is the 11-year anniversary of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic premiering. Where were you? October 10th, 2010. Funkshire?
See, that's 11 years ago. I was still working at Lowe's. Now I was probably at home. Unless it was a Saturday, then I was probably at work.
Yeah.
I don't even think I knew what My Little Pony was on October 10th, 2020. October 10th, 2010. That's a tongue twister.
That is. I remember, and the reason we're talking about it is because, fucking Fluffy Pony started on MLP. They were just an offshoot of My Little Pony. It was a brony thing for the longest time. So, like, it's just sort of a somewhat important date. I know that on 4chan, they still do they do a marathon of all the fucking episodes, which was fine when there was only, like, 4 seasons. You could do it in, like, half a day or a day. But, like, the show's over now. So there's 9 seasons of My Little Pony they gotta watch. That's like a multi-day thing, and some assholes just sit through the whole thing. They take off work. They're like, I'm going with the boys to watch some pony. Ridiculous.
That's kind of sad.
I mean, that's what makes them happy.
Yeah, you know what? You're right. It makes them happy. Let them have it. Fuck it.
I mean,
I can think of much better reasons to fucking skip work than a cartoon. That's just me. Like that's my prerogative, you know?
Yeah. What have you skipped work for, Kibbles?
Oh, what have I skipped work for? I actually don't think I've ever skipped work.
I don't.
I think I've called in sick maybe twice, but I've never skipped work.
Yeah, I don't think I've done it. I think once I did it on accident, where I didn't think I had a lunch shift, and I did, and I got like I finally turned on my phone, and my boss is like, "Yo, you didn't show up for your lunch shift." Oh fuck! And I drove over there, and he was like, "You didn't let me finish. You don't. It's fine. We were fine." It's scary. I don't think I've ever. No, I've never called out of work or like made time out of work to like watch a cartoon. I mean, I'll call out when the new Total War comes out, but that's about it, you know.
Even like and this is just my misplaced sense of fucking not pride, but my misplaced sense of, I guess, responsibility. And I know it's not true. I know that this is not true for literally any fucking position besides maybe, I don't know, uh, a doctor. But if they don't really need me, like I've never worked somewhere where like if I wasn't there, the place would fall apart. And that's most professions. But I feel like if I don't show up, I'm letting people down, and I can't do that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
the. Mm-hmm.
that's the millennial in us all. It's like, well, we still believe that hard work will get us somewhere.
I know that. I don't know if you want to talk about it, Funk, but I think you mentioned before that you're having some responsibility difficulties and that other people's were not.
It boils down to basically I'm very good at remembering where things are and being able to track a lot of shit at one time. And so because of that, whenever they can't find anything, it suddenly becomes my responsibility to be like, well, where is this? And I'm like, I don't know. Where I'm out and about. And right now, apparently, they just want me to clean up the store from the way it was because they hired in two assholes that didn't know what they were doing, didn't train them, and then fired them. And so basically, these guys just came in and fucked everything. And so I was like, well, okay, I guess I got to straighten this all up. And I've been doing that for 3 weeks now. And I normally drive and make deliveries to the shipyard, which I don't mind because as stupid as it sounds, this job to me is something I'm doing until I can do what I want to do. I don't I don't really want to because all my friends are like, you should get a better job. And I'm like, I don't really want to because I don't want to do the wage slave thing for the rest of my life. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's like I don't mind working. Like my goal is if I could do my art thing and work a part-time job, fuck, I'll be happy as I can be. Just anything except for another see, I'm 34, another 40 years of soul-crushing horse shit to go through.
Mm.
But yeah. No, the company I work for is not particularly bad. My boss is okay, but his boss is the one that tends to give me all the shit.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear about that, man.
It's what happened when you have people higher up in companies who have never had to work the bottom rungs.
Just that dissonance, disconnect.
Yeah, we'll say disconnect.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
big.
so yeah, no, it's also that disconnect of being like, oh yeah, uh, grew up and people are like, you work hard, you can get anywhere. Now I'm like, I'm working hard. Where the hell am I getting?
Yeah.
I am sprinting in place. People say they're running in place, they're jogging in place, and I'm sprinting in place.
Hmm. So
I
now just one day I said, fuck it. I'm gonna keep drawing until I get good at this, and hopefully one day this will be something I can do for a living.
oh yeah, I think you're doing better than me. I've
Well, you're a
got
lot younger than me too, so you got plenty of time. So don't down yourself.
eh, I feel. You know what it was when I turned 20. I felt when I between ages 18 and 24, I felt like I didn't age a single day. But the
Mm.
second I hit, what was it? Yeah, I call it over the 25 hump. As soon as I was the other side of 25 and I was 26 years old, all I aged up in my head. All of a sudden, all just came crashing down on me, and I was like, oh, wait a second, I'm closer to 30 than I am to 20. Oh dear,
Oh,
I'm running
I
out of
just
time here.
want to talk to the reply to Adam Brownhill real quick. They say it's the collage that kills. I won't disagree because I think a lot of degrees out there that people spend 40, 50, $60,000 on. There's a very there's little return on investment there.
Mm-hmm.
But
I mean, I spent $10,000 on my fucking useless ass degree, so
I spent 43 on mine. But it did net me a 6-figure job. I hate my job, but it's a good job.
So like I
It
said,
just
if I could go ahead, I'm sorry.
Oh, I was gonna say it just depends on what the degree is, what college you go to. Like I went to a really good college for my major, and it landed me a really good job with a really good company. But if you go for if you go for I don't know what's a quote unquote useless degree.
film.
Film, yeah, like literally everyone in America watches movies. But
Yeah,
if you've got a bachelor's degree in film, you're making like 40 grand a year.
less. Trust me, it's
And
not
you
good.
probably went to a fucking expensive art school that
I
cost
went.
$100,000.
I went to Montclair State University in what's it called? And when I went running on the treadmill, you know what I saw from the top of that fucking mountain school? I saw the New York City skyline. And fucking didn't help me a goddamn. I could tell you right now, I could tell you what 3-point lighting is. I could tell you the rule of threes and scene composition. And I could tell you that each page in a script is 1 minute of screen time. But fucking when Lemon or Mutagen talk about like actual technical stuff that I feel like is applicable to the modern world, understanding blockchain technology and server
Fucking
infrastructure.
more like cockchain.
Yeah, more like cockchain technology. I'm just like, what am I doing here? What is my purpose? You know?
I feel you because it's like I see artists that have been at this longer than me, and I see them drawing, and they're just like, I have drawn this immaculate photo. Everything looks professional. Everything looks realistic. And then I drew mine, and I'm like, I look like a 17-year-old got a hold of a fucking tablet and saw titties for the first time. That's what this looks like right now.
Oh my god. Should I here? This is gonna be a bash on ourselves. I'm gonna quickly bring up my very first internet drawing I did recently.
You do not want to see mine.
Oh, I can't be good.
Let me see
It's
if I
not.
got shit.
I've got my first one I did here that I posted on my Newgrounds back at the beginning of 2019.
Thankfully, I have a new computer, and all of that is gone. It's lost into the ether.
Thank God.
Beautiful. Okay, that's not computer drawing, but it's a drawing.
I looked away for like a bit to just check the internet for my images, and I left you with the abstract fluffy penis. My apologies.
Sometimes it be that way.
Yeah. Let's see here. See all the Ben Shapiro shit from last week. All right, this was my first drawing I posted publicly on the internet in modern memory.
Bench Apiro.
Oh, my fucking thing ain't properly orientated. I'll fix that. Sorry about that, people. There you go. That's my Wii Fit trainer right there. Let's get that nice and big so everyone can see how terrible it is. Oh, you can see what I was going for, though. See the plan was there.
Absolutely. I see what you're going for.
And I was so proud of this. I was like, yo, look what I drew to my friend. And my friend was like, yo. And then years later, I'm like, ugh. Oh, God, where's that shoulder going on the left there?
What shoulder? We don't need shoulders.
Why is the neck so thick? Why is
Shoulders
the
are
torso so
liberal
small?
propaganda.
I do have a habit of making my heads unnecessarily large. It's the Zim mindset, you know?
You always gotta remember, like, the body's supposed to be, I think, 3 heads wide. That's what I always have to tell myself.
I know.
Because otherwise, I fuck it up.
I know it's 5 heads tall, right?
I think it depends on the height of the person you're messing with. I want to say it's 5 heads tall on average, 6 heads if they're tall, 7 if they're a Wookiee.
You draw any Wookiees recently?
Not recently, but I did because my buddy's Star Wars game, I do play a Wookiee warlock basically. Well, that's more like a Wookiee sorcerer.
What is the difference between a sorcerer and a warlock for the folks at home that are uninitiated?
Sorcerers are born knowing their magic. You got your magic because Meemaw fucked a dragon. warlocks make a pact with a dark entity and are given their power from said entity. So basically, warlocks have a sugar daddy, and sorcerers, like I said, Meemaw was a bit on the easy side.
How about a sorcerer versus a magician? Or are those roughly the same? Or a
I don't
wizard,
know.
not magician.
Oh, wizard just
I was
learns
gonna
their stuff
say,
from reading book. Yeah, I was like magician. It's like
magicians make you think that they made the Eiffel Tower disappear with fucking mirrors.
I'm trying to find something here. I'm trying to find like the first, because right now I'm currently working on a new Hex Maniac for Halloween. But I was looking for like the first one I ever drew and like how trash it was, so I could show it. I can't seem to remember where the hell I put it. I'll find it in a minute. Hopefully,
So,
maybe.
so, so last night for Funk and Friends, you had a book club, yeah?
We had our book club. We had our
Oh
second ever
God.
book club, and let me tell you this: that was a book. That was a book and a half right there, Mister.
Christ, I read
I
I read up to what you guys were reading, and it was so bad. Kibbles.
I tried. I fucking tried. I couldn't do it. I just. Oh God, I hate Steven Seagal so fucking much.
All right,
Well,
Funk, tell us about the book that we were reading, or you were reading.
okay, so we're reading a book, and I'm gonna pull it up here because, like I said, we here at the FluffCast on the FluffCast strive for accuracy because
Oh
we will
yeah.
not be sued for libel. So I'm gonna open up the book here for me. Here it is: "The Way of the Shadow Wolves: The Deep State and the Hijacking of America" by Steven Seagal and Tom Morrissey. Forward by Sheriff Joe Arpaio.
Who is this
If you
Joe Arpaio guy, by the way? I wanted to ask that
Oh,
last night, but
no, no, okay,
Joe.
I'll let you.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, go ahead, Kibbles.
Okay, Joe Arpaio is the former sheriff of Maricopa County. He is a convicted and pardoned felon,
And
and
Trump
all
pardon him.
around, all around, he's just kind of a shitbag.
He was the one they called Sheriff Joe for what? Basically, what he did is he came into Maricopa County, which is where Phoenix, Arizona is, and he is a lying piece of shit. He got in there because he wanted to, he basically got in there because he wanted to harass Mexicans and basically anybody who's not super Caucasian. And he runs the prisons like basically a torture facility where he would he feeds them all like the same thing every day over and over again, which Menthol knows that by heart. I can't remember what it is. And
Oh,
basically
Bill.
to fuck with these people, he also has the food channel playing the entire time when they're eating, because you can only watch TV when you're eating lunch and eating supper. And that's about it. So he's torturing that way. We put him in a tent city out in the 110-degree weather in pink underwear and pink shirts because I guess he has a humiliation fetish. And all in all, just a terrible person. He was convicted for doing a lot of illegal shit. One of which was he made the food at the prison so bad that the inmates had to rely on vending machines. And guess who owned the vending machines?
Oh my God. Oh, Joe Arpaio.
Joe Arpaio owned the vending machines. So, all in all, trash human being. I don't, I don't ever wish harm on anybody. But if Joe Arpaio died in a fire, I'd probably say, well, fucking great. Because Jesus, that's just a scumbag person. I'm
But
trying
he
to
is a
find.
hero to a certain percentage of Americans.
I can imagine. I mean,
Yeah, the
like, what even kind of
go
person
ahead.
was it? Was it like murderers or felons, or what were their crimes? You know?
Most of them
Just
were drug charges.
Well,
yeah,
c'est rien. That's like nothing. They're fucking. I don't know. I get it. You break the law. You know, you got to follow the rules of society. You got to play the game. But still, you know, you're allowed a certain degree of human rights, even when you're
See
no.
condemned.
that was what got him. Is like he was just really bad about violating human rights, or he was just like, "You're a prisoner. You don't got no human rights to get in there and buy a goddamn honey bun."
That's fucked up. I don't know. That's foobar. What are we talking
A
about?
little
Our
bit.
boy, fucking. So Steven Seagal, he writes this book, and it's about the deep state, and it's got this fetishistic observation This is a
It's
real of the Shadow Wolves, which is a real Native
the
American
Shadow
thing,
Wolf.
right? They're real, yeah.
They are a real Native American thing. What they were is they were picked up from, I believe it was Tacoma. I got it. Hold on a second. Let me pull this up. Once
Was
again,
it
striving for
Lakota?
accuracy.
Always
I don't think it's Lakota. Let me pull this up. I
Navajo.
think it's
Apache?
oh no, that's a movie. No, I want the actual Shadow Wolf. There we go. Where is it? I saw this just a second ago. Tohono. They
Okay.
are part of the Tohono tribe. Basically, what it was, the area where these guys operated, there was no real federal agency there, and they made a deal with the Tohono tribe that if they allowed them to make this police force, that the officers involved in it would all be at least a quarter Native American. And so they started doing that, brought all them in, and they basically for a long time functioned to track down smugglers in the American Southwest until Trump took office. Then they got absorbed by ICE, and now I don't know really what they do for the most part. So, but Steven Seagal seems to think of them as some sort of magical, like
They're
Naruto level
magical.
ninjas.
They're the magical Negroes.
And
That pretty much.
I think in chapter 2, he summons a ghost wolf and then has it scare away some people who are stalking him, right?
In fact, hold on a second. I've got that. I'll pull it up right here.
Yeah,
There we
that's
go.
the
Here.
main character here. That's who does it. That's who does the ghost summoning in this book, mind you. In the foreword, which is done by the fucking prison guy, the fucking human rights violator. He says
Hmm.
that this book, like it is fiction, but it's only a hair away from the truth. That's what Steven Seagal has done. That's what was said in the fucking foreword, and they're fucking summoning ghosts in chapter 2. Just remember, just talk to us,
That's
Funk.
it. It's like right here. Like I'm going to read this. It's a little long. It's a little poorly written, but let's see what happens. About 20 feet from where John was standing was a rise in the land. He proceeded with what he was doing despite the action behind him, moving slowly toward it while shaking his fist in the air. This was his grandfather's old ways method of bidding his son a good night and asking it to return in the morning. As he was ceremonially dancing and chanting toward the rise, he suddenly dropped to his knees. There he began his shaman-natured ritual, celebrating the spirit of the wolf, the dominant creature of the night. As he chanted, a shadowy wolf slowly approached him out of the encroaching darkness, kissed his forehead, and stood there for a moment, watching him. After a moment, the animal turned and looked at the men who had stopped dead in their tracks as they approached from behind. The mysterious wolf's fierce eyes glared at them as they froze in place. He then slowly turned his glance back to the kneeling Native American, kissing his forehead again before disappearing back into the shadows. At that point, John heard movement from what sounded like 3 men. He got back to his feet and continued dancing his way into the darkness. He went behind the rise from where he was able to observe them, but they could not see him. He was a ghost warrior known as a shadow wolf, one who could easily bend into the night, disappear into the darkness at will. So Steven Seagal's a fucking furry, and what this tells me is Steven Seagal wants to take the knot.
So real quick, that is offensive to furries everywhere.
You know what? I'm going to take that stance. I'm going to take the hot take here and be like, Steven Seagal wants to be a furry, and he cannot accept the fact that he wants to be a furry, and he should just let himself go. Take the knot, Steven. Take the knot. We're not going to make fun of you anymore than like what we do for your shit ass movies. So, which the only good movie he's ever made was like Under Siege, and then that's
Under Siege
kind
was
of a good movie.
decent. It wasn't
Yeah.
great. It was decent.
Well, it was, like I was saying last night, Under Siege is kind of like an experience where I live because I live close to Mobile, Alabama, where they shot the movie on the SS Alabama, and everybody goes out there and like you're walking around, they're like, see that spot right there? That's where Steven Seagal killed a man. See that spot right over there? That's where Tommy Lee Jones killed a man. See that spot over there? That's where that girl got her titties out in that movie. And you just say like, well, okay, I don't know what to do with that, but okay. Yeah, it was an okay movie, like at best. And
What
then
was
it
that?
just kind of like went from there.
What, Under Siege?
Under Siege.
I think we had the Sopranos film around here in P-Town. That's about it. I think Joe Pesci actually had a movie he filmed recently in Patterson too. Anyway,
I just want to mention.
yeah.
I feel like I have to mention this.
Yep.
Steven Seagal is approximately absolutely 0% Native American.
Oh yeah, no, he is Russian, German, Jewish.
What the fuck?
There's not a drop of Native American in him, nor is there a drop of any Asian in him.
It's
No.
it's like
He does look Asian, though. He does look Asian.
that's the Russian Polish Jew in him.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Now I
It's
will
like
say that. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I was just gonna say it's like if I wrote a book about fucking Jangles, the dancing black guy. That's basically what he did.
Pretty much, like we coined the term Steven Seagal isekai for this book because the main character is just Steven Seagal. It's what he wants to be. He wants to be a badass Native American special forces person. Which honestly, I will tell you this: if you want to hear just how shitty a person Steven Seagal is, please look up Behind the Bastards. They have an two episodes called "Steven Seagal is way worse than you thought he was." They also covered this book, which is what inspired me to talk about this book. And if that was not enough of a tragedy, Steven Seagal is also a musician. Now, I use musician very, very loosely here.
Oh, you got to give me one of his songs.
I'm going to pull them up here. So
Well, you pulled
he's a
him up.
blues
Oh,
musician.
okay.
Let's see. Because there's one song, and I'm not sure which one it is, where he has the lyric in it, "We want the punani tonight."
What the hell's the punani?
It is a slang term, a very offensive slang term, basically for vagina. It kind of was also used, I believe, it's for like Vietnamese comfort ladies. I might be wrong on that. Let's see. Okay, let's look. See, this is track music here from his album. See, Songs from the Crystal Cave is the name of his album. And here's the track list: John Crow, Strut, Girl That's All Right, Slow Boat to China, Don't You Cry, Better Man, My God, Dark Angel, Somewhere in Between, and Music. I don't. Did he rip off fucking? I gotta know. I gotta know.
Here, let's play one of Steven Seagal's songs here. Just a moment or two of it.
Let's see. I'm trying to see if this is what I'm thinking. Who is this song? Can't find a better man. Da, 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 she dreams.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
I'm seeing if this is a cover of that.
Is
I
that
hope
Dave
not.
Matthews Band?
Here, let's see.
I don't
Better
think it's
Man,
Dave
but
Matthews.
here, let's play a couple seconds of Steven Seagal's Better Man. Oh, let's jump actually ahead a little bit to something more spicy.
Yeah, better man. Well, a woman like you.
I'm not a fan of his voice. I don't want to get copyright. I don't want Steven Seagal to own part of the FluffCast. I'm gonna stop playing it there.
Dude,
But-
as soon as Seagal owns the FluffCast, that'd be the most amazing thing because I want to see what kind of shit show he turns it into.
I get a call from his agent. It's like, Steven, the Seagal Foundation would like a purchase. That's when we find out how much the FluffCast is actually worth. How much could I sell the FluffCast to Steven Seagal for? I don't know if
Oh, here's
that's
Steven Seagal doing a demonstration. Let's see this.
of what, his fake fucking martial art.
That's what it looks like. It's in Russian, and he's very chunky.
Is it bad like South Park, where he's got like that muffin top sticking out the bottom of his shirt every time, or?
He's wearing a very loose shirt, so you can't really tell, but you can kind of tell he's already winded, and he's trying to show. No, you can't. You can't throw somebody. That's not going to do anything. No. Oh my God, no.
Oh my
You can't. You cannot do that fucking lock without somebody. There's an easier way to do that. He's showing his dude, like, he reaches out for a handshake, he pulls the guy in, twists his arm, and flips him. There's no way he flipped the guy with from this move. There's no way you can flip anybody from this. The fucking physics don't work. It's also a lot easier if you're going to try and get somebody from a handshake. You handshake them, pull them in, and you elbow them in the nose. It's way more effective and a lot easier, and you don't look like you're trying to do fucking Steven Seagal jungle gymnastics. Yeah, Vanner, Steven Seagal sings, but sing is a very strong word. It's more like, yeah, I can't get better.
Better man.
Mary had a little lamb. Little lamb.
Gonna get me PTSD.
That motherfucking lamb was white as snow. Yeah, and then like I was listening to the track and I noticed that like the instruments were louder than the voice track. So I'm like, oh no, they're trying to drown him out, and it's kind of working because he actually went out. He spends like a boatload of money to get actual honest to God musicians to go with him, and sad to say, being a good blues musician does not pay the bills because nobody wants to listen to the blues until you're dead. So they have to kind of go with what they got, and they're like, I don't blame him because if Steven Seagal came to me, he's like, "Hey there, I want to pay you $40,000 to come travel with me for 6 months and play backup." I'd be like, "All right, sign the check. As soon as it clears, I'm good to go." I'm very easy to work with, so. But no, like, what's funny is at one point, Steven Seagal was married to 3 different women at one time.
It's just he's also been accused of sexual assault.
He's
Tell us-
also been
tell-
accused of sexual trafficking.
Jesus.
So, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Andy, but I will tell you. So Steven Seagal, boy, back in the day when he first kind of came up and started doing his Aikido thing, and I'm sorry, Aikido's not a real martial art. It's a good way to keep in shape, but half the shit they show in there is not going to work unless somebody's working with you. I'm sorry, it just doesn't. Anyway, he marries a woman who her father ran the Aikido dojo that he went to. They moved to Japan, and Steven is working at her family's dojo. And this is where he comes up one of his first big ass lies. Well, his first big ass lie as an adult, because even like as a kid, he would lie and say he was like from like the Bronx, and they were like, we live in California. What the fuck are you on about? But like his mom actually called him out in an interview and was like, the fuck is he on about? Like, no, he grew up in California. He did not grow up in the Bronx. And but again, he married this woman. They moved to Japan. And first thing he claimed was he was the first white man in Japan to own his own dojo, which was bullshit. He also claimed that on a daily basis he would beat up criminals outside the dojo and scare them off to the point they were afraid to come around. This is also bullshit because his wife testifies that at one point he did rough up some drunks, and that was it. And so we go on from that. He basically tells his wife that he wants to go and open Aikido dojos in America, but they don't have any money. They're both kind of broke. So she starts working her ass off, saves up a bunch of money, and eventually gets enough money to send him back to America and open a Aikido dojo. So he takes off with all the fucking money, meets another woman in California, and marries her illegally. Doesn't mention shit about back home. So he marries this girl. While he's married to this girl, he starts meeting kind of famous people. And the famous people are like, oh, well, if you want to get noticed, you need to hang out with more famous people. And so he's like, okay, I got to meet more famous people. So he talks to a friend of hers, finds out about this actress. He falls in love with said actress and then proceeds to follow her back to Japan and then ask her to marry him before the first wife found out about the other 2 marriages. So, yeah, it was one big shit show there for a minute. And by the time it all, it's too much to think about because you're just sitting there like, holy fuck, how are you going to do all that's just too much to keep up with. I would be tired trying to think about that shit. But he's also been so the reason he got his big glowing review there from Joe Arpaio is A, Joe Arpaio would do anything for money. B, Joe Arpaio had him on his TV or was part of the TV show, Steven Seagal Lawman, which was on, what was that on? Was it A&E? I think it was A&E. It was on one of the, it was on some shitty network, and basically the whole thing was like, Steven Seagal has been deputized in 2 counties. He's been deputized in Jefferson Parish, Louisiana, and he was deputized in Maricopa County. Now, this is a common thing where rich people will get deputized so that they can concealed carry anywhere. And if somebody tries to stop them, they just say, hey, deputy, fuck you. It's a bullshit thing, and it's basically just, yeah, if you know enough people, you can get a free conceal anywhere, like advanced conceal permit. But anyway, Stephen had to resign from the Jefferson Parish Sheriff's Office because he was found to be holding one of his assistants basically hostage in his own home and raping the girl.
I
Steven Seagal's MO is basically he put out a Craigslist ad for an assistant. Girl showed up and they flew her immediately to Jefferson Parish. And it gets there, and one of the first thing he does is tell her, oh, well, if you're going to be my assistant, one of the things you have to do is give me a massage. Do you know about the art of massage? And most girls don't. Most people don't in general. I don't know any like real massage therapist, but anyway. So he's like, okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to teach you how to give the massage. And he will massage the girl and, of course, take his fucking liberties. And then expect her to massage and then, accidentally start his shit. But the thing was, like, this girl got there and she's trapped. She's in fucking Louisiana. She don't know anybody in Louisiana. She's California. She can't get out. So she is trapped in his fucking house and finally had to escape and left all her shit there and basically could not go and, like, tell the sheriff, like, hey, your boy's got all my shit. He's been, sexually assaulting me for days now, because they would just be like, oh, not Steven. That's just boys just being boys, y'all. And that kind of stupid shit. So he's a fucking monster.
Yeah, a little bit.
He ended up going with Joe Arpaio because Joe Arpaio does not care. If you can make Joe Arpaio famous, that's all he's worried about. So they brought him in where Steven was involved in a shit show where they drove a tank into a man's front living room because he had a suspected cockfighting ring. Not confirmed, not the dude's got 40 pounds of coke and a fucking M16 in there. It's like, no, we think he's got a cockfighting ring. So we're going to drive this fucking tank through his front door, kill 100 of the man's chickens, and then we're going to shoot his puppy.
that
So
what the fuck?
that happened. And what's bad is there's footage of this, and we'll never get to see it because Steven, like, basically had it thrown out the fucking window. Honestly, I would love to see this. I need to know what kind of shit show that turned out to be. Yeah, that's Steven Seagal, like, fucking worst person on the planet, basically. One of, at least. He's also best friends with Vladimir Putin. He's friends with Vladimir Putin and the dictator of Belarus.
You guys call him the last dictator on the planet. I thought Kim Jong-un was a dictator.
I mean, you can't dictate the dead.
Ah, fair.
I think I don't know. I don't know if he doesn't call himself a dictator, so I think this boy actually calls himself a dictator. I can't remember. But yeah, basically he's like good buddies with these people, like to the point that Putin made him like a special envoy for the Russian culture. I was like, what
Yeah,
does Steven Seagal know about Russian culture?
he's a special envoy, though.
That's the important
Just-
part. He's a special envoy.
It's kind of like if you watch Steven Seagal Lawman, like if the funniest thing in the world is to watch him approach like a black man at a traffic stop because he just walks up, he's like, yo, my homes, look, I can't be out here calling you by your street name, but you got to keep this car under wraps, otherwise you might get capped. Just
What the
stupid shit like that. Like, you think I'm kidding, but no, that's like how he would approach these people, and it was just ridiculous.
He's just not a good person.
Not at all. Not
They
a
had
good actor, not a good person.
no. You had
So
someone else on your show last night, though, other than yourself and Menthol.
We did. We had a special guest. We had him named James Tullis from his YouTube channel of the same name, James Tullis. He reviews bad books, talks about them. The only thing I told him, like, I kind of disagreed with him with, is he didn't like The Witcher. And I was like, you know what? We'll just agree to disagree. He did explain, like, he didn't like the Witcher TV series. I'm like, you know what? That's fair, but I'm just a big Witcher nerd, so I was like, if I see you in the streets, I won't shoot you.
Nah, he's
I was
cool.
like, he was really cool. I was honestly, like, I hate to say it, I was scared to death of having him on the cast because I know we're kind of a rough bunch. So I was like, oh boy. I was like, I hope I don't scare this man off. But then he
So
came on, he was really cool.
yeah, he's got like 200,000 subscribers, I think.
Something.
It's like 150 to 200,000 subscribers. So probably like it's something that's not as big. It hasn't hit the 1 million mark yet, but you know, where he's working, he's got a fan base. It's nice.
that's exactly 199,900 more than my ass has. So
That is exactly 199,922 more than I have. So, which also, you mind if I plug something for a second?
Yeah, sure, dude.
I'm doing like a kind of drive thing with the funk stream where my birthday's in 2 months. And basically what I'm trying to do is before my birthday gets here in 2 months, I'm trying to get to 100 followers on Twitch. If I can get to that, I'm going to read the entirety of my Immortal as an orc.
That's
God, yes.
genius.
I will record it and put it up there, and also I can give a preview if need be. I think I have it here somewhere. There it is. Or we did this on stream one night, and like I was killing Andy and Menthol, and it was pretty great.
It was too much. It's so fucking funny.
And what's bad is like I'm able to read it smoother as an orc than I am able to actually just try and read it like normal English. It's I'll tell you what, Vanner, I'll put it in the chat over here. That's it right there. Also, the account that I have this tied to right here, you just saw me type in, is Funky Bunch. That is going to start having the YouTube cuts of our Funky Bunch book club, as well as like any other little clips we might have. Because Menthol's been cutting up a storm on some clips, and he's really good at it.
Yep.
You see here. Okay, so I have in front of me chapter 1 of my Immortal. And let's see how this goes. Because this, funny enough, this first bit, they're like, my name is Ebony Darkness, Dementia Raven Way, became kind of my reset phrase when I'm trying to get back to the orc voice. And I was like, how does that work? My brain works weird. But it just comes in here and it's like, oi, my name is Ebony Darkness, Dementia Raven Way. And I've long ebony black hair. That's how I got my name. With purple streaks and red tips that reach my mid back. And icy blue eyes like limpid tears. And a lot of people tell me I look like Amy Lee. Author's note, if you don't know who she is, get the hell out of here. I'm not related to Gerard Way, but I wish I was because he's a major fucking hottie. I'm a vampire, but my teeth are straight and white. I have
Sorry.
pale white skin. What's up?
I'm not related to Gerard Way, but I wish I was because he's a hottie.
Because, you know,
Who's Gerard Way?
yeah, he's the lead singer for My Chemical Romance.
I wish I was related to him because he's hot.
I wish he was related because I want to bang him.
Fucking incest is wincest, I guess, right?
Pretty much.
Suppose.
So where was I here? I say, I'm also a witch, and I go to a magic school called Hogwarts in England where I'm in the 7th year. I'm 17. I'm a goth, in case you couldn't tell, and I wear mostly black. I love Hot Topic, and I buy all my clothes from there. For example, today I was wearing a black corset with matching lace around it, and a black leather miniskirt, pink fishnets, and black combat boots. I was wearing black lipstick, white foundation, black eyeliner, and a red eyeshadow. I was walking outside Hogwarts. It was snowing and raining, so there was no sun, which I was very happy about. A lot of preps stared at me. I put up my middle finger at them. "Hey, Ebony!" shouted a voice. I looked up. It was Draco Malfoy. "What's up, Draco?" I asked. "Nothing," he said shyly. But then I heard my friends call me and I had to go away. And that's the end of chapter 1 of My Immortal.
It's
That's
so
the entire
great.
chapter.
That's the entire chapter.
My God.
That is the entire chapter.
Oh my god. I can't have
But
my
it's weird.
favorite.
It's weird. Like when I read, if I try to read it in English, like I try to read my normal funk voice here, it hurts. But then like I throw the orc voice on, it's like, why does this make sense? Because it sounds like it was written by a fucking orc.
That's the thing.
It's kind of like you know what? This might also work here. Hold on a second here. He says, let's see. As he chanted, a shadowy wolf approached him from the encroaching darkness, kissed his forehead, and stood there for a moment, watching him. After a moment, the animal turned and looked at the men who had stopped dead in their tracks as they approached from behind. The mysterious wolf's fierce eyes glared at them as they froze in place. He then slowly turned his glance back to the kneeling Native American, kissing his forehead again before disappearing back into the shadows. Fuck, I can read that better too.
God fucking damn it. It's too much funk. It's too much power. That's what it is.
It's too much power. I especially love reading the fucking the author's notes in this here. It's like author's note, thanks to Bloody Tears 666 for helping me with the chapter. By the way, prep stop flaming my story, Okie.
Oh, it's just too. It's. Christ.
It's the power I've needed my entire life.
This was just on a
So-
whim.
I'm so angry and so disappointed and so aroused.
That's what I aim for. It's,
The arousal part.
orcs may be asexual, but I am not. Which is something like it's one of those fun things that I always kind of get nitpicky about. Like I'll see somebody drawing like Warhammer Smut or something, and it's like there's an orc with a dick, and I'm just like, orcs do not work that way. They are mushrooms.
Is that
Do
how?
not start this.
I wait. Is that how orcs work? They're actually mushrooms.
They're actually a fungus. Orcs were originally developed by the old ones as something called the Krork, which were 20-foot tall mega soldiers meant to fight the Necrontyr, if I remember correctly. I always forget that part mixed up. Basically, they devolved from that, and they were set up that basically, when an orc dies, it sheds spores everywhere, and the spores can take root. And basically, the only way to get rid of them is just to burn them all. Sometimes you don't find them all, and then that leads to like small bands of orcs popping up. It's also orcs, snotlings, squigs, everything related to orcs all come from the same spores too. It's just they're kind of they just differentiate in like how they turn out. So yeah, that's it. Like orcs are just mushrooms.
One
And
second.
they're my favorite. They're my chosen army for Warcraft because they're the only actual good guys.
They just want to have fun.
It's like they just want to have fun. They can't understand why everybody else doesn't want to have fun with them.
Speaking of fun, how is, not to bring things down a little bit, but has the plague like calmed down with you guys? Like, have things got back to normal finally? Or
COVID.
I am in Florida.
COVID.
What do you think?
I just say I live in Mississippi. Like, yeah, we're dropping like flies.
are you are you fucking with me? I can't tell.
No, dude, like Mississippi did not give okay, check it out. Our governor back last year.
Yep.
What was the year before? We had a special election. What it was a proposition. The proposition Prop 74, I think it was. Yes, I think it was 74. To legalize medical marijuana in the state of Mississippi. It got overwhelmingly approved. I think that was a 74 thing. I think 74 to like 13%. And everybody's like, yes, we want medical marijuana. The rich people in Mississippi do not want medical marijuana because that will fuck up basically all the liquor stores they own. So they want it gone, and they went and pulled up some bullshit where Mississippi used to have 5 districts. Now it only has 4 because we have shit for population. The way the law is written, the 5 districts have to be included when voting in this, and you basically tally them up over the 5 districts. However, since they only tallied up 4, they pulled it as a legal loophole, saying that, oh, we can't legalize medical marijuana because this loophole exists. However, there have been 2 other propositions that have come up, passed, and are not being touched because they were like some bullshit gerrymandering shit that were under this same rule. So everybody's demanding a special election or special recount, special session to basically reinstate this shit, because we know if we vote for it, like people would just overwhelmingly vote for it again and be like, hell yeah. Well, we're told we don't have enough money for that. And this is a long story, but sorry. We're told we don't have enough money for that, but we have enough money to sue Joe Biden because Joe Biden is telling everybody they need to wear fucking masks. And Tater Tot, aka Tate Reeves, the governor of Mississippi, is like, I don't want to wear no mask. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Says Papa Trump ain't in office no more. I'm scared because he ran entirely on the platform of like, I'm going to get in office and I'm going to suck that Cheeto dick so hard that I'm going to have orange shit around my lips for months. And then he lost, and he was like, "Oh fuck, what do I do now?" So, yeah, like everybody's fighting it down here, and like you get looks because I'm vaccinated. I went and got the fucking 5G, and I can't like I still wear my mask, and like I'll wear my mask out, and like people were fucking glaring at me, and I'm just like, y'all can square the fuck up if you want to.
I wouldn't fucking
Well,
glare at you.
if we have a good old time. It's like, my name is Funkshire, and I fought bigger people than you in my goddamn sleep. Which always scares the shit out of people. And I'm like, yeah, I'm used to fighting bigger people. And they're like, where the fuck are you fighting bigger people? I was like, I had to learn how to fight a grown ass man at 8 years old, man. My granddad was scared to death me and my brother were going to get kidnapped. So there wasn't any discussion of like, find a policeman or any of this. He's like, no, here's how you going to take that sumbitch down, Funk. And I was like, all right, let's do it, Dad. Let's do it, Granddad.
Down here in Florida, it's definitely interesting because like the more city you get towards, I guess, Miami or Fort Lauderdale, it's not too bad. But I'm out in the suburbs, right?
Yep.
And there are some places you go in and it's just like, okay, everyone's got a mask, no big deal. And there are other places that go in and it's like, you need to take off that fucking mask. You need to take off that face diaper. I'm just like, what? Okay.
Dude, I got fucking asked to leave a little local sporting goods store a while back because a guy reached over and like put his hand on my mask, and I picked him up and asked him what the fuck do you think this was a good idea? And apparently he was a regular, so they got mad at me. I was like, I'm not the one rubbing my nasty ass sister fucking hands all over somebody's face.
Jesus Christ.
Like, he reached up and tried to grab my mask because I've got like a little cloth mask a friend of mine made me. It's just got Texas Longhorns on it, and I've worn it for forever, and it's my favorite. And he reached up and grabbed it, so that I was double pissed because A, this was a gift from my friend. B, I don't want this motherfucker touching me. And so I grabbed him by the throat and I just had him against the wall. And I was like, what the fuck is your goddamn problem? What made you think this is a good fucking idea? And then he's over struggling. And then they just come over to me. He's like, sir, you need to leave. I was like, y'all didn't see this motherfucker over here try to assault me and then get what's coming to him? Sir, he is a regular and I'm pretty sure he didn't do nothing. I was like, somebody's about to get an ass whooping and it sure as shit ain't going to be me. So I got to be careful with places like that. I went to this place because I heard they did gunsmithing and I kind of wanted to see that in action because that sounded cool. And I will never go back.
That's the thing. Like, when did it become okay to like get in someone's personal fucking space?
Mm-hmm.
I don't get it. I know that
I don't get it.
in Jersey, it's people are just curious if the mask mandate is going to get extended or not. Because I think right now it's on a business only thing. Not many people wear masks indoors, but if a business says don't wear, if the business says wear a mask, you're wearing a mask. But the reason is because we got the governor election coming up soon, so it's unfortunately a politically fueled topic at this point, no longer a health thing, which is
Yeah.
probably the biggest tragedy here.
Yeah, I'm kind of like, I feel like health should never be politicized, but
I'm not gonna pretend to be some kind of fucking angel when it comes to this health thing, you know. But you know, my buddy, I lost a buddy to the virus, you know, and so it's
mm-hmm.
you know, I ain't fucking around. I don't know.
See,
It shouldn't be politicized, but it is because, you know, people are fucking stupid.
That's just how they dome do it, Yugi. Fucking hate it. Whatever. Now I'm just trying to figure out this fucking. There we go. I wish Mutagen was here. He could teach me so much about this fucking.
Mutagen's on his honeymoon.
Yeah, is he on his honeymoon? Do you have that right after? I think he's actually home right now.
I think they're home right now. I think they're actually leaving tomorrow for it. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I haven't talked to him there. I know I think they still have family in town. It might be.
Yeah, that's what it is. I don't want to bug the guy. For those of you who don't know, Mutagen got married recently. I think like 3 days ago, if that.
They are now man and Muta.
Man. Let's see, they're man and fluffy. Let's be real here.
That's pretty much. Well, I say man and Muta because our running joke was always.
Oh, right, man and Muta. Right, fuck. Keep going. Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, I was like that was always our running joke. Is like it's man and Muta because we all know that Muta is the catcher in the situation.
I don't know her actually. What's she like? Is she cool?
She's very cool.
He is awesome.
Okay, yeah.
She's always been a good friend. She's always been really cool. Her VTuber group has kind of adopted me, I think. And you know what? I'm okay with that.
All right, she wants to get into that.
But she's also asked like we don't link that to her old name, so we won't do that.
Yep.
Yes.
We ain't gonna say
yeah.
We ain't gonna say a goddamn thing.
Yeah. Because unlike me, she did pick a new name where I was just like, fuck, more people know me as Funk than anything. Let's just go with it.
Yeah, that's my problem is everyone knows me as Kibbs or Kibbles, and it's like it's stuck.
I used my actual first name like a moron.
Yeah, good job, Andy.
Yeah, thank you.
Good job, you fucking guy, Andrew.
It's actually not Andrew. It is just Andy.
It's fucking Andrew, you guy.
Andy is short for antigen.
What's this overlay? Oh, that's where it's at. There we go. Okay, figured that one out. Thank God. I'm just trying to fuck with the different layers and shit here. Trying to get a cool effect for the abstract kind of fluffy.
I'm still trying to find that picture. I know I have it here somewhere.
He's still
If not,
searching.
yeah, I know. See, for a while when I first started drawing again, I would draw on my little sketch pad, then I would take a picture and then just have it that way. But I did find my second oldest, so if I don't find this one here in this last folder I'm going through, I'm going to just send that one to you. Because it was just me doodling down a bunch of bullshit. I was going to say, oh, I'll show him like my latest one. And I was like, oh, wait, I can't show my latest one because it's a witch getting fucked by tentacles.
Jesus Christ. That's some tactical censoring right there, man. All right.
Well, we're thinking about it. The thing is, like, people in like my free company and shit on Final Fantasy are becoming like fans of the stuff, and they're like, "We want to see it." And I'm like, "I cannot post this in the free company shit. Y'all are gonna have to buzz me, and I'll send it to you." I was like, "They will boot me out of this game so fucking fast."
All right. Did you see that video I sent you? Or at least I posted on your channel.
Let's see which one.
It was just some guy. It was just some guy doing a fucking Final Fantasy pattern at Minecraft. No big deal.
Oh yeah, I saw that one. Like that was really cool.
Yeah. So we do have someone in the waiting room, and it's someone who is interesting. So I want to pull him in here with things slowing down a little bit.
Fucking
do it.
So Vanner, talk to us, my man.
Vanner.
What is good? Speak to me the words of which I want to hear.
How's it going, everybody?
Oh, it's certainly
What's
going.
happening, Vanner?
up?
Let's see what I've been doing. We're doing October.
Yep.
I've been, stretching my art muscles, which
There you go.
desperately need it.
Let me see.
And- And then we're doing, still working on the card game. I put together most of the art for all the cards, and hopefully I'll get that done by the end of the week.
Do you
Gotta
have
send these dummies to the Shadow Realm.
what? I'm looking at your profile page here. Is this all your description? that you've put down. What is the stats page on your user page here?
Oh, that's just how many words I've written.
And it's also got a death count?
Oh yeah, that's how many fluffies I've killed in my stories.
Oh my god. Dude, that's fucked up.
I think I have the highest body count of just about anybody.
Well, yeah, you've got 300 million. It's fucking Fall of Cleveland, buddy.
Well, yeah, I mean, but even without that, and even without, the one, like, super huge number story where I killed, like, 250,000 fluffy, it's still, like, well over 3,000 fluffy dead. So, not counting industrial abuse, I think that I have the most individualized fluffy murders.
Now, what if, how is it going to feel, however, when a fucking 12-year-old comes onto the website and writes the story where he says, I woke up one day and snapped my fingers and all 1 billion fluffies died. The end. Then how are you going to feel? You're going to have the lower body count now, number 2.
Well, that's okay. 12-year-olds can do whatever they want. This is the internet after all.
That's why they're 12.
Exactly.
That
That
to
is-
be young and innocent again.
I'm just glad I'm not young and innocent in the time of like everything's recorded on the internet.
Oh God.
God, yes. Oh, if TikTok had been around when I was 12, I would probably be dead right now.
Oh my God. I can't even imagine the amount of cringe. Like, I found my old journals from when I was like 14 and I like just moved to Ohio and I was just like this big ball of angst. And I was like, oh my God, what the hell was wrong with me? I'm glad that shit wasn't on the internet because I would have live journaled that shit for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I've got some cringe on the internet. I don't like talking about it.
I actually was able to escape, thank God, somewhat cringe free.
Really?
Yep.
How
I don't have a MySpace anymore, thank God.
I don't think anyone
Don't have
does.
a Facebook. There are very few pictures of me online.
I can say that the worst thing I ever did on MySpace was I was on there, and at the time I was a big fan of reading R.A. Salvatore, the guy who wrote the Drit series. And I found a MySpace that I was like convinced was his because it was like the official R.A. Salvatore MySpace. And I wrote this big goddamn gushing message like, dude, Mr. Salvatore, what would you tell somebody about who's like a aspiring aspiring writer like myself? What would you give him for advice? And then like I never heard back, and then like a year later I heard back, oh yeah, this is just a fan page. I'm sorry, like we didn't mean to like fool you or anything. And I was like, just break my goddamn heart, why don't you?
I'm really glad nobody ever says, hey, Vanner, how do I become better at whatever? Because I would always tell them, just do it, because I don't have any real talent at anything.
So, Vander, where do you get
Same.
your ideas from?
Oh, Jesus Christ. If somebody asked me that, I would say, you know what you should do? Just do a whole bunch of hallucinogenic drugs and just write down whatever you see. Because I'm straight edge as hell. I rarely drink. I've never done so much as pot in my life. But, if I feel that I can send somebody down a path of enlightenment by doing, LSD or whatever, more power to them.
I feel like the pictures in my head move a lot smoother and with a lot more imagination when I'm high.
Okay, Andy, I'm fixing to send you some fucking cringe.
I
Don't-
can't. I kind of want to see this too, but also I can't do drugs because
You know what?
drugs are bad.
I'm
Okay.
gonna put it in the FluffCast channel right here.
I wanna see it.
This was like the second thing I put in my sketch pad 4 years ago.
It's gonna end up on stream. You know that, yeah?
That's fine. It's fine. There's nothing particularly bad about it. It's just shit.
Oh, it's just your basic stuff.
Like I said, it's just cringy because I look at it now and I'm like, God, it's fucking terrible. I hated everything about this.
Dude, you weren't sketching fluffy ponies in your fucking in the
No,
margins of your notebook page during high school, so you're fine.
I was way done with that by this point.
This is-
You know what? I can send this one. This one's actually safe for work. This is the latest safe for work drawing I've done.
Your art reminds me. Now I know you didn't trace because it's too imperfect, but it
Mhm.
reminds me distinctively of this other group I was in. There was just this one guy who was really into Naruto, and insisted that he didn't fucking trace. But his pictures were just a little bit too on model. All of his fucking poses were like stock basic bitch poses.
Yeah.
I bought this art book a while back from this girl who her fetish is that Link and Princess Peach fuck. That's the whole premise behind most of her art. Anyway, I
what?
bought.
I think I know this person.
Yeah, I think that was the main describing thing. So I bought her 100 art tips, and she's got a video series on YouTube that her husband does the narration for. Very interesting. One of the first art tips is to always, and I'll show you it on stream right now, always draw dynamic poses if you're going to be drawing, you know, always have like the head going one way. Never just do your fucking like fuck, let me get an actual thing here. Never just have your guy standing still. Always have them like arcing and moving, flowing, legs one way, legs the other way, the head tilted, all that nonsense. What happens here is so much more interesting than what happens here. This guy had too high fidelity of an artist to not understand the principles of motion in stillness, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And I always got shit for telling this guy, you're a fucking tracer, you're an idiot, stop trying to pass your work off as your own. Whatever. Fucking morons, I swear.
Nah, I don't know. I'm fairly all right with dynamic poses. I think I could be better. Hell, you know, that's just part of it.
I suck at dynamic poses.
Why is the most dynamic pose? Of course, the latest lewd thing I'm fucking drawing.
Because
what
I mean, it has to be, yeah. Because
you know what? I could send it. No, that'll end up on the cast. I don't want to lose the money. It'll be fun.
because
Yeah.
like how many fucking what is it?
It's basically the whole idea I had was I was like, I need to draw some shit for Halloween because I didn't last year. So let's see what I could do this year. And I was like, okay, what I did last year, I do have a Halloween picture from last year, which I can send you. And it is actually, it's actually safe for work. Hell, it's not even that bad. Where is she? There she is. So this was like, okay, there she is. That was like, this right here was my Halloween picture from last year.
Let me see here.
It's not the best, but it actually looks better as a sketch.
That's how it goes with a lot of things. Sketches, because it's I think someone told me that like your imagination is a very good job of filling in the blanks.
Well, it's also that, and I've learned about a thing called it's like faux detail, I believe is how it is, where a lot of people use this, especially in like making comic books, where when you draw the background or something, instead of adding the little details, you can just kind of draw over it again, the same line by the same line you just drew, and it gives an illusion of detail.
Makes
And
sense.
you can kind of tell because like I draw everything real sketchy because I don't know, I don't really like for my stuff to be like super like I guess clean because it looks fake and I don't like it. So I just have
Well,
to
also,
do
the
what I
more
can.
detail you put into it, the more time you have to put into it, and the more time you put into it,
Yeah.
the more likely you are to screw something up.
Yeah, like that was, oh god, that was the story of fucking the Hex Maniac on the couch when I did. She turned out all right in the end, but at the same time, like I spent so fucking long on it that I learned like, oh boy, I don't need to do that ever again. Because that was the thing, and I was just like, well, she turned out pretty good. I'm okay with it, but god damn, don't do that again, Funk. What else we got here?
See,
Well,
I
at least
like
you're willing
both.
to do your own art, and that's
Yep.
really that's just doing it is more than anything. You know, so what if your art's terrible? My art's terrible. I still post it. Not to say that your art's terrible. Yours is actually quite nice.
Thank you. But
I
I like doing it, and it's a long shot because I always feel like I'm too old to be an artist. Like I'm 34. It's like I'm too old. By the time I'd be any good, I'll be like 40, and then I'll just be that weird 40-year-old dude drawing waifus.
Dude, I am 40, and I still draw this shit.
You're 40?
Yeah,
I thought
I'm
you
not the
just-
oldest person in the fluffy fandom, but there's not that many more people older than I am.
You know, a couple years pass and you think you're grown up, and then everyone's still just the same fuck. It's terrible. It's terrible being me. Anyway,
You know what? I could put this in FluffCast, but I'll spoiler it because that'll be the latest one here so you can see dynamic poses. I don't know, Andy, are you all right with me throwing that in the FluffCast chat, the
Let
newest
me
one I'm working on?
see here. I haven't seen it,
I'll send it to
unfortunately.
I'll send it to you first, and you can decide what to do from there. I'll
Okay.
tell you this: there's no details yet. I haven't quite got all that done yet because
Let
I'm
me see
slow.
here.
Where is it?
It's all right.
Where? Okay, so I have 2 versions at the moment. Got why you got to be this way? Why do you got to be this way?
What, is it too big for Discord?
No, it's fighting me.
Oh.
Why you got to fight?
So I wanted to tell, well, we're talking about art and not being good enough. A whiles back, I was in a YouTube room, still am, a Discord room for this YouTuber, Okoy, who is a Total War Warhammer YouTuber. He does funny
Mhm.
videos where he makes armies out of like one unit, and he makes them as good as they can be, and he does that and that. And he's got a whole bunch of other YouTubers in the room and such. And one of the guys was an ex-GW employee, Razor Roger. And Razor Roger and I are just talking about random shit, and I'm like, yeah, I want to get into the YouTube game, but every time I start writing a script or editing stuff or doing footage, I get really self-conscious about my content, and I freeze, and I just can't upload anything or build anything, And he
That
goes,
is the worst feeling.
yeah. Let's see here. That's a little racy.
Yeah, I'd say probably don't, but I was like, yeah, he can look at it and choose.
Yeah, it's
You're
a
the
little
man in
racy.
charge.
Yeah, it's a little racy. That's all I'm gonna let
Yep.
people know. It's a little racy, but it's not.
It is.
I actually really like what's going on here, though.
Like I said, I try not to go too well because there's my belief is there's a fine line between stylized and fucked up anatomy. And
Hello.
honestly, I try to just look at
Howdy,
it from
howdy.
afar. There's Billy. What's happening, dude?
Not much. How are you guys tonight?
Talking
Okay.
shit.
Yeah, it just popped in the last hour. I just got out of work.
Yeah, it's fine.
Hell yeah.
Fuck work.
As you were
No, I'm
saying,
sorry.
Funk.
Oh no, it's like well, fuck, I done lost my train of thought. No, talk about your YouTuber friend. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So he tells me, he says, I want you to look at this one guy in the room here, Orc War Boss 72. And I go, what about Orc War Boss 72? And Roger goes to me, Andy, Orc War Boss 72 does nothing but upload videos of armies walking across the screen while the song If There's a Whip, There's a Way from the Rankin Bass Return to the King movie plays in the background. All right? And this guy loves what he does. He's a great guy. He produces shit content, but he's a great guy. You know what? He loves doing it. If anyone tells him not to do it, he's just going to do more of it. When it comes to making content, you got to have the same mindset as Warboss. You just got to bite the bullet and do what you like to do,
See,
numbers be damned.
I finally had to do that myself where it's like everything I draw is done out of spite because somebody told me I couldn't do it. And I was like, fuck you, we're gonna find out. And
Spite is
it's
truly the greatest motivator.
it is. Look, you guys at home, take this. I want you to put this on a t-shirt with my name and a dash at the bottom. Spite is a perfectly rational motivation to do anything. Don't let anybody say, oh, you shouldn't do it from a place of anger. Fuck that. Get angry, do
Indeed.
what you want to do.
That's why I quit my last job.
God, I wish that were me. I'd quit my job in a heartbeat if I didn't, live alone and have a hard time finding anything down here that pays about the same.
Be right.
Here, I'm
But I'm
gonna...
hoping.
Yeah.
Go ahead. No, I was like, I'm hoping here in about a year I'll be able to quit this job because there's a Buc-ee's moving in, and Buc-ee's pays stupidly well for some reason.
What's a Buc-ee's?
Yes,
It's like
This is
explain.
amazing.
Buc-ee's are amazing. There are these enormous gas stations that is basically like it's like
Like
a
a Sheetz?
castle. It's like a castle of a gas station. Like a what, Vanner?
Oh, so
I'm
like
sorry.
a Flying J.
Like a Flying J, but better. They
Ooh.
originated in Texas and they're huge. The one that's close to me right now is in Daphne, Alabama. Well, actually, Spanish Fort, Alabama. And it is an enormous place, has over 100 gas pumps. And then the store itself is as big as probably like a small Walmart. And you go inside, they have food counters, they have a bakery, they have a gift shop, they have snacks that they only make. They got every kind of snack under the sun. They got homemade preserves, candy, popcorn. They got some of the best damn barbecue sandwiches I've ever put in my mouth. Also the best fucking breakfast I've ever had. Then they do fudge, they do Okay, and it's all like reasonably priced too, and their gas is really good. Like I drive a Scion XB because I'm 6'5" and I wanted a car, and the Scion was the only thing I could fit in. I love my Scion. It gets good gas mileage. When I fill it up at Bucky's, normally I get about 28, 29 miles a gallon. When I fill up at Bucky's, I get about 36 miles a gallon on that shit.
So they use 100% ethanol or 100% gasoline with no ethanol.
They do have that option. I think that's what I got last time. Yeah, I got like 36 out of that.
Oh.
But yeah, they got that. They got everything you could want in there, and like they got good food. Um, yeah,
How
they
do you feel the
sell.
how do you feel the gas station industry will be affected by the revolution of the electric car?
I feel like there's always going to be a need for them, but they're going to have to adapt, and if they don't adapt, they'll die.
I
It's
agree
bas
completely.
it's basically the same thing. We're going to see one brand of gas stations is going to go the way of Walmart. They're going to adapt fully and know what they're doing, and then they're going to be one that's going to go the way of Kmart and Sears and fall back behind and not know what they're doing. They're going to try to appeal to the diehards and be like, "No, we're not doing the electric pumps and all this shit." Because my theory is that someone will start changing out their gas pumps to like, I guess what you'd call like a flash charger pump, maybe something like that for electrical, something you could charge really quickly with.
Yeah.
And the rest would probably be trying to appeal to the diehards. And I feel like the diehards will slowly die out pretty quick
Well, I
because,
look at it this way, like I'm seriously looking at buying an electric truck in the next 5 years. And
oh yeah,
like
Oh, like a Rivian or
no, Rivian is I don't trust them at all. Like I saw the first car that rolled off their assembly line and like the body panels were visibly off kilter. So it was like,
well,
yeah,
if you're gonna say
yeah.
Tesla, I want you to read the recent reviews about their fucking QA and QC.
oh god, no, I would never buy a Tesla.
Cybertruck
Okay.
Elon
has to
Musk
look
is a massive
ugly as
asshole.
sin.
Are you talking about the Ford electric trucks that are coming out?
Or an Atlas. Was it the Atlas A1 or whatever it is?
I'm not really sure. Like, there's another one that's coming out, which I think I may just buy because it's called the Alpha. It's called the Alpha Wolf, and it's
Hmm.
like the cringiest name ever. And you look at it and you're like, oh, does this come free with Punisher stickers? But uh, it's the size of a it's the size of a Ranger, and there just aren't any of those trucks made in America anymore. That has something to
Yeah,
do with the chicken tax, which is this
that's
whole nightmare fucking thing. But that's the size of truck I want. I have an F-150 that I used to pull a horse trailer. I'm not getting rid of that.
yeah. I've got some information here pull up here for like the Ford electric truck that come out. It's called the Ford F-150 Lightning.
Yes.
They're coming out, and I was reading about them, and they're trying to make them basically as heavy duty as they possibly can for a electric vehicle, where you could actually use it as a generator on a job site too. And I thought that was cool as fuck because I was like, I live down here in Mississippi. We get hurricanes and shit. If I had a truck that I could use as a generator too, that would be amazing. But now I'm looking at some of the stuff they got here because I grew up in a Chevy household, but as I've gotten older, I've kind of found that I don't really want to fuck with General Motors anymore.
I've seen
Like,
more than one friend almost die in a General Motors type fire. My friend in high school drove a goddamn Fiero, and he was the first person I knew to carry a fire extinguisher out of pure
Jesus.
necessity.
Yeah, that sounds about right with a Fiero. I've known 3 people who've had Fieros. All 3 of them have burst into flames at some point. Uh, but no, no, there's a on the public radio station right here because I listen to that shit in the morning a lot. I like the little local shows. We have what is the name of the damn mechanic show? I cannot remember it all of a sudden.
Click and clack.
It's not Click and Clack. This is one that's just like for Mississippi, and they have a lady auto mechanic on there. She's really good. And she brought up something to my attention that I didn't notice. And she was talking about, a guy was talking about, he's wanting to get a new truck. He kind of wants to get something Chevy and he's not sure, but he's also heard bad things about him. And she said, look, here's the thing. If you look now, you don't see very many old Chevrolet or GMC trucks on the road anymore. You don't see old Escalades. You don't see old Tahoes. Like you might see one 10 years old. That's a dinosaur at this point. That thing should not have made it at this point because of the way they were built. It's not like, my granddad who still has that damn 92 a 92 Silverado with a tree growing in the floorboard because they just don't make them like that anymore. Like
Tell
I don't
him
even
with the 80 Fords that are
pretty
still going
much.
through the desert.
Yeah.
How the fuck do those things still work?
I don't know. It's honestly I've become a big fan of Toyota stuff since my Scion's made by Toyota, but like I like their stuff and everybody's like, "Oh,
Hey,
you like the foreign stuff." I was like, "It's fucking sturdy."
And
Yeah,
it's,
you mean I like
Toyotas-
shit that lasts more than 3 years?
Yeah.
Aren't Toyotas made in Indiana?
Yeah,
They-
a lot of Toyotas are made in America.
Yeah. Like they're made, like a lot of them are made in America. They're just, Japanese brand made over here. And I'm like, what's the bitch about?
There are more Toyotas made in America than there are fucking Dodges made in America.
Mm-hmm. But I'm kind of excited about the idea of like these F-150 Lightnings. They sound pretty cool.
Back to your gas pump thing. Something I'm more worried about in the near future for fellow Jerseyans.
What?
There is people, advocating for the removal of people to pump gas for you.
No.
Yes.
No. I can't pump my own gas. I'm from Jersey. I don't know how it works.
I was
I
just
can
saying,
pump
you're
you-
from Jersey, aren't you? Like,
Yes, we both are.
Wait.
that messed me up so much the first time I stopped in Jersey, because like my whole family's from Philadelphia. So like, and I'd never driven in Jersey until like I went there for my grandfather's retirement, and then I was like leaving, and I was like, oh shit, I gotta get gas. It was like I was in Camden, and I was like, I'm not stopping in fucking Camden to get gas. Are you kidding me?
Don't stop. Don't we? What's
Don't
that dark
go
shadowy
into
place?
Camden.
What's that dark shadowy place? That is Camden, Simba. We never go there.
Yeah. So like I stopped and like I went out to go get it, and the guy was like, I was like, oh, that's right, it's Jersey. This place is stupid.
It's not stupid. It's,
It's
how
not
we
stupid.
do
It's
things.
a beautiful thing that creates jobs.
it's a fake job market.
It's good. It's beautiful, and I don't want to get out and pump gas.
Me too. I use that. I listen. I hand my $20 to the guy. He knows what's good. I walk into the freaking 7-Eleven. I get my white Monster, my Snickers bar. I come back out. We're good to go.
You
All
get your
right.
Boomer juice.
Dude, I rock and roll with the Boomer Juice, and I'm out driving. Are you
God, the
kidding me?
white Can.
The white can. I think I got. Yeah, I got a can right here. Listen, you can't hear because of noise suppression, but the stream heard it.
It's a terrible first job, Virgil. It's like pumping gas is awful. I mean, like if it were the 1950s and it was a service station, that'd be awesome.
That
they're
was my first. Sorry, go ahead.
They're just standing there occupying space.
That was my first job, was pumping gas, because my dad owned a gas station when I was a kid.
That does not surprise
And
me. At least.
we got out there, and like I was like 8 years old pumping gas and like checking engines, and people are looking at me like, "Aren't you a little young to be doing this?" And I'm just over there like, "Mister, I could tell you what's wrong with this thing by the sound of it." And then that lady almost killed me by having me overinflate her tires. So
Sounds like my wife. Her dad owned a garage, and like
Mm-hmm.
we'll just be driving down the road, and she'll like hear a car and be like, "Oh, that car needs to replace its bearings." I'm like,
This lady pulled up and she told me that she wanted to put 60 pounds of pressure in her tire. I said, "Ma'am,"
What?
I
What?
said, she was driving. What was she driving? She was driving a Crown Vic. I said, "Ma'am, these take about 33 to 35. I said, "You don't want 65 in this tire, 60 pounds of pressure." I said, "They will blow up." She's like, "You need to put 60 pounds in there." I said, I'm not going to put 60 pounds in there. I'll put 35 in there, and that'll be pushing it." And so she got out and she started to put the air in herself. She's like, "Watch this." And she put 60 pounds in there, and the fucking tire exploded. Because it was not only like bald as fuck on top of it, but it was also like just dry rotted to hell. So it blew up. Piece of shrapnel like hit me in the stomach. So for like it knocked me down. It hit me so hard. Like I had a bruise about as big as my hand is now on my stomach at fucking 9 years old. But I just had to sit there a minute, and I was like, I told you, bitch. I told you." My dad come out there. He's like, "Why are you cussing at the customers, Funk?" And I'm like, "I told that bitch, Dad. I can't hear nothing, Dad. I gotta holler."
Am I loud? I'm sorry. This bitch blew my ears out. 60 pounds of air.
Dad, this bitch blew out my ears. I might be deaf. Dad, I gotta learn sign language. What am I gonna do with that shit? And the funniest part about it is like when it blew up, like if you've ever heard a tire explode, they are fucking loud.
Yeah.
I can't imagine.
And
I can't even imagine being like 5 feet away from it.
Oh, dude, I was like 3 feet because I'm right over her shoulder. I'm like, she's gonna get tired and give up. Hopefully, please, please. And what was funniest about it is like my granddad was in the back doing the books, and he heard the noise, and he came out with that fucking 44 of his and was ready to go to goddamn war because all he heard was something blew up. He knew his grandson was outside. He was like, I'm going to fucking town. Throw the fuck down, son. And it was wild. I thought it was funny as hell because here I am sitting there going, Granddad, why you got your gun? You don't need that. You got to speak up.
It's
No, I don't want any juice. Oh, you want to shoot? Okay, no, don't do that. She was laid out. Like she looked like she got hit in the face by Mike Tyson. She was laid out. We had to actually call the ambulance on that because like
oh my god, yeah, what happened to
they,
her?
like it basically piece of the tire hit her in the jaw and cut her jaw like down, like slit ways, where it looked like if she could have pulled that apart, her mouth would have opened up like the Predator. And that happened to her. She had bruises. I had bruising all over. That's it. I'm crippled for life. I'll never play with the other little children. She done blew her own tire. You ain't gonna shoot the other one. That's about right. Or that was basically me screaming. I'm just like, I'm deaf. I don't know how I'm gonna ever recover from this.
That's how Funk became friends with Helen Keller.
Oh, that's too much. Jesus Christ. So, Vanner, do
That's
you have
how-
any... Yeah?
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was going to change topics, but you want to say anything else?
Please
or-
do.
All right, so Vanner, tell me, do you have a release date set for the card game, like an ETA, or is this a it'll be ready when it's ready kind of thing? You know,
It's definitely not. It's definitely one of those things where I am working on it. Not as a when I have motivation, but as a I need to get this fucking done, or I'm going to get bored and forget about it.
Mhm.
But my goal is to be done with all of the cards by the week, and then I've already started setting it up inside of Tabletop Simulator.
so it's in Tabletop Sim right now.
Yeah, it'll be in Tabletop Simulator, like, and it'll be everybody on the forums will be able, everybody on the Fluffy community will be able to play. You know, I will post a link to it. Everybody can download it, play it. Get together with everybody. Virgil was talking about possibly getting a couple copies of Tabletop Simulator as prizes for various things.
All right.
So we might get that done. I think what I'm going to do is I found a company.
Oh no.
Yes, Virgil, I am actually shooting for the 1-year anniversary.
Oh no.
I think it's in December. Yeah. But I found a place that'll print playing cards. So I think I'm gonna have like 5 copies of this game printed and then send them, just hold on to them and like give them to people as gifts. Like I'll probably send one to Virgil. I'll probably send one to Marcus Maximus since he did the backs of the cards. And I'll just probably hold on to 3 of them.
So one to Andy because he's really cool. What? I thought it was funny. Oh god. So you can do like a video where you explain the rules of the game, or?
Yes, of course.
Oh, okay.
Are you going to be the Maximilian Pegasus of the Fluffy Pony Yu-Gi-Oh game?
I am not enough of a weeb to know what that is.
In the Yu-Gi-Oh anime, he was like the guy who created the card game they play in Yu-Gi-Oh.
Oh,
And
okay.
he had like an Egyptian
Yu-Gi-Oh.
spirit like living in his eye and all this shit. So I'm just like, he also was like very fond of trying to kill children over card games. So I'm just like, you know what? More power to him if he's going to do that.
And
I
he
mean,
really likes cartoons.
He was also aggressively foppish.
Yes.
Very much.
Yu-Gi boy.
Ah, my Yugi boy, you play those cards with such finesse and style. I don't know how I'll ever be able to compete. Oh no.
He was the uncle who works at Nintendo.
I think one of my
Alright.
favorite, Kaiba threw him a prototype duel disc. It was like the circle you put your cards into, then you tossed it out. And Pegasus is looking it over, and he's like, well, what's this? I don't know how I'm supposed to use this, Kaiba boy. And Kaiba's like, you put your cards in it, Pegasus. And Pegasus says, well, do I spin it like a top or roll it like a ball? And he fucking rolls the thing away. I love Maximilian Pegasus. He's a 10 out of 10 character. I can't get enough.
I swear to God, I don't know if I don't know if this is like a Mandela effect thing, but I swear there was an episode where he shuffled his cards like like a playing card deck where you just like bridge them
Yep.
instead. Everyone else shuffles them like slide, so you don't damage him, but he's just gonna.
Yeah, that'll make anybody who played like even one game of Magic the Gathering cringe.
Yeah, it does.
That's almost as painful as that video of the guy using like the freaking Black Lotus to spray paint his rims.
Yes.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Well,
Yeah.
go ahead. I'm sorry.
Do you know what a Black Lotus actually does? Like, okay, you do, but like,
I don't.
oh, you don't know
I
what a
just
Black.
know it's. I know it's
played-
very valuable.
All
I
right, have
played
you?
Magic back in the 90s.
Okay, so when I found out what the Black Lotus actually does, I was a little bit I guess underwhelmed, but also completely understood what it was about. Have you ever played Hearthstone, you guys?
Yeah.
You played Hearthstone, Funkshire?
I did for a little while before it went super cash grabby.
Okay, yeah. So you know the card Innervate, the Druid card that gave you 2 mana?
Yeah.
Okay, it's an Innervate, but it's 3 mana. That's the card.
It's literally like on the same level as fucking Pot of Greed. That's what it sounds
It is.
like.
It's like, okay, yeah. It's a Pot of Greed is actually beyond, because Pot of Greed doesn't cost any resources to play. The closest thing to
No.
Pot of Greed in Hearthstone would be something like Arcane Intellect, which is you pay
Yeah.
like a moderate amount of mana, you get 2 cards, very strong.
Yeah.
But this is a card that costs no mana to play, and you just get three free mana, and it's huge, absolutely huge.
Yeah.
Because
Especially since it allows for first turn victories.
yeah, because it's just like an unbelievable ramp card.
That's why it's worth like what, $8,000 now, something like that.
No, it's worth way more.
Oh, way
If
more
it's
now.
from the alpha set, yeah.
Espe-
They
Not
came
to-
out with something recently for the commander set called the Jeweled Lotus. It's kind of like it, but it's only $50 because they're like, it can't be that powerful.
Yeah. I still have like, I have 3 OG Charizards from Pokemon back in the day, but none of them are like first edition. And one of them I might have beat a kid up to get.
Well,
You
that
mean
wasn't very nice of you.
you stole
very
his
rock and roll.
Charizard?
Okay, so I have a little brother. My little brother is nothing like me. I love him to death, but we're very different people. I'm kind of loud and boisterous. I'm like my mom. My mom is 5'2" and she's a fucking firecracker. She don't care. She'll fight anybody. I was probably supposed to be the same height, but then somehow it's like, oh, we're gonna make Funk 6'5". This is gonna be fucking hilarious. My brother is more like my dad. He's a shorter guy. I say short. My brother's about 5'10". He hates it because he's the only one in our family under 6 foot tall. Like
Besides
all the
your-
other, besides my dad's 5'8", my brother's 5'10", but my mom's side of the family, all the guys are 6 foot plus. And then on my dad's side of the family, everybody's under 6 foot, but they're 3 foot wide. So I ended up being 6'5" and 3 foot wide. My brother is 3 foot wide and 5'10", and he's like, I'm fucking short. I don't know. I was like, dude, you were like 6 foot tall and you're 3 foot wide. Calm the fuck down. You are not short. But he had to grow up next to me, so he's like, I'm short. I'm like, you're not fucking short. You're fine. But he's very quiet. He doesn't talk much because I always had to do the talking because I could either talk our way out of it or joke our way out of it or whatever we got in trouble for. So he got picked on a lot. And this guy was making fun of him. He was kind of like the scourge of our bus and everybody hated him. And he got back there one day and I saw him punching my brother in the head. I walked back there and I asked him what the fuck was he doing. And he accused my brother of stealing his Pokemon cards. Because this is 2001. This is like prime Pokemon time, I think it was.
Sure.
Yep.
And I told him, I looked at him, I said, well, I don't think he stole a thing. I said, if you hit my brother again, I'm going to put your head in the fucking window. And he hit my brother again. So I put his head in the bus window and I let the bus window up and just basically locked his head in the bus window.
Jesus
And while-
Christ.
While he's stuck in the bus window, I said, look, ain't going to steal your fucking card. It's going to be me. And I looked and there was this little card box. I picked it up and I flipped through it. And there was a bent ass Charizard. And I said, this is mine now. And I walked back to my fucking seat. And I should have got suspended, but the bus driver was his aunt and she hated this little fucker. So whenever they were like, they asked her like, well, did you see Funkshire put this boy in the window and, steal his property? And she's like, camera wasn't working. I was focused on the road. I didn't see shit. So I got away with it, kept it. And then like later on, I got one by finding it and I can't remember some re-release pack. And then I got another one that I traded a kid for a Alakazam for. I remember that because I was like, you really want this Alakazam that bad? He's like, dude, I love Alakazam. I was like, okay. So we traded for it. And that's why I have three Charizards now, which I don't know what the hell they're worth. They're not, like I said, they're not first edition, so they're probably not worth much, if anything.
The only Pokemon card I have is a Mewtwo that came with Nintendo Power, and I forget what the issue was, but like I went to the library and I was flipping through Nintendo Power, as one does. I was like, ooh, Pokemon card. I don't play, but what the hell? So I took it.
They were really cool back in the day. I liked when magazines used to put cards in them. Like Shonen Jump used to put Yu-Gi-Oh cards in there. And that's how I got my favorite one. And I got a really cool version of Red Eyes Black Dragon. And I got my favorite, the Dark Paladin.
Game
Which-
Master still does that, except sometimes even pieces for an upcoming board game.
That's
I think
actually
it's
pretty
called
cool.
Game Master. I got a copy somewhere.
White Dwarf, the Games Workshop one actually does it too sometimes because I got like a free Stormcast Eternal. It's the only Stormcast Eternal I've ever bought because it came in the magazine.
Neat.
And I was like, cool. I was like, I don't really care about these guys. I'm more of a Skaven guy, but this is neat.
Yeah.
And no, I will not be reading anything as a Skaven because I can't do that voice.
Now I am sorely
Excuse
disappointed.
me. I think it's like what is it? Run, thing, hide. Yes, yes, very good.
That's
Yep.
actually really good. Yeah.
God, there was a.
I'm
Thank
impressed.
you, Head Taker Queek.
It's Queek Head Taker.
Same shit, you know what I
No, it
meant.
is not. It is. You know
He
that.
thinks all the heads are talking to him.
No, and the worst part is they are. That's the worst
it.
part.
That's the
They're
worst
not
part.
just all
Like,
heads. There's an arm on there as well.
Is there an arm? No, hands. There's a pair of hands.
Pair hands.
That's what it is.
actually, somebody, like the nicest thing anybody's ever said about anything I've drawn was about my Queek Head Taker I drew a while back.
Yeah.
Where is it? Do I have that still? I think I do. I wouldn't let that go because it about teared me up.
The Shrugging Queek is great if you've ever seen that one.
I think I
Where
have
it's like,
it.
guess I'll die.
I think I have a lot. Funk was talking about it last night on his stream, but he said we have a lot of people who are really into Warhammer. They're Warhammer nuts, and I was like, yeah, I'm the fantasy guy. Oh, I don't have Guess I'll Die. I'll bring Queek. I have a picture of Queek up though, so people can take a look at him. He's
See, I know. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
He's basically like a Roman legionary rat. It's really fucking cool.
That sounds awesome.
And his whole thing is that the Skaven are afraid of everything, you know? But he's like stupid or genius, no one's quite sure what. He's not afraid of anything. That's his that's his character trait. He's really cool and doesn't afraid of anything.
That Queek's a cool guy. He's oh god. My brain just lost all this information there for a moment. I'm sorry.
He fights stumpies and doesn't afraid of anything.
Now that's some old school memeism.
Oh man.
Where is I know I have that around here somewhere.
I need more Warhammer. I fucking love Fantasy, man. It's so cool.
Funny enough, I think I've talked about this one time before, but I started reading the Black Plague series of Warhammer Fantasy novels, which is basically the Skaven novels. And they're really good. And I started reading them in 2020 when all the Corona and all this shit was going on. And I realized as I was reading it that the books are about a horrible malady that's going around that people don't think actually exists, and an incompetent leader that does nothing to stop it, and people infighting because they can't decide what the fuck to do with it. And I was like, you know what? I really feel like I'm really feeling kind of meta right now. I don't know how to feel about any of this.
Yeah, I was reading, I think, Forge of God, and it's about it was about the end of the world, and this was like in March.
Yeah.
And I was reading it, and it was like, I can't handle this right now.
Why am I crying in the club right now? Where are you? I know I have this here because this person said such nice things about Queek, and I was just like, thank you.
Everyone likes the Head Taker, man.
He is awesome. I love the Skaven because it's basically just an entire race of rat men who all think they're Invader Zim.
They're the tallest leaders.
Pretty much because they're like their hierarchy is the Council of 13, which is the Council of 13 is actually 12 representatives because
Yeah.
the 13th seat is kept open for the Great Horned Rat, who is their god. And the leaders are kind of picked based on every clan has like a different thing they do. Like Clan Molder is pestilence and plague, and they have the plague monks and shit like that.
No, that's Clan Pestilence.
Wait, that's pestilence. Molder's the animals.
Molder does
the
the mutants. Yeah.
Molder's the mutants. Okay, I'm sorry, I get that confused sometimes. But they each
Tricky.
one has a different one, and then kind of like at the top of society are like the Gray Seers, which are white rats with horns, which show that they're gifted by the Great Horn Rat. So I always see that as kind of like, yeah, that kind of works the same way as the tallest because it's like, hey, they got horns, they're bigger than everybody. That means they're cool dudes.
I can respect that. But that's the question. If our government operated that way, who would be our president?
Who would be our president? Robert Wadlow.
He's dead.
Oh, I
Shaquille
guess
O'Neal
I
would
get
be president.
Shaquille
Or at
O'Neal
least-
would be
or at least
president.
Secretary of State.
Look, I had one of those Shaq-a-roni pizzas today, and it was really good. So I would vote for President Shaq. He seems like a good dude.
Shaquille O'Neal and his foreign policy.
Mr. O'Neill, what is your foreign policy? I'm going to take it to the hole. I'm going to dunk on these fuckers, and if they play Hack-a-Shack, I'm going to get dirty with them in the paint.
Make sure you boys buy me some foot powder spray. Ah.
I'm gonna get rid of this pain in our ass. But down here in Mexico, just like the pain goes away when I use icy hot medicinal patches. Because that's one thing I will say about Shaq. I love him because he seems like a pretty good dude. He is not afraid to work. He's like, fuck, you want me to hawk this shit? Let's do it. Come on, bring it on.
You know,
Where's
I
the
have
money?
a lot of respect for celebrities who are just 100% into promoting shit for money. I 100% respect that. Be like, I will
Mhm.
shill your shit for dollars. At least you're honest about it.
That's kind of like, when we're on the FluffCast fucking around. I'm like, look, we were trying to get sponsors, and like you guys can just come on, and we will sell your shit for money, no problem. And like we've been targeting Little Caesars and been bugging Little Caesars to the point. Me and Menthol have actually sent like emails to Little Caesars and been like, hey, if you guys ever got some money you want to throw some way and get some advertising, you can holler at us. Like we even told them, like, if you got like a script, we'll read the script because right now we basically just get on there and I'm like, hey, have you tried this pizza from Little Caesars? And then Menthol did this thing, yeah, I've tried it. And I was like, that's fucking good. What? That's been basically how we've been going back and forth. I'm like, yeah, if they'll send us a script, I'll read the fucking script. I was like, there's a couple things I won't advertise unless like the money's really good. Like I won't do Raid Shadow Legends unless I'm getting like the 10K offer that they throw at YouTubers. I'm like, y'all got to throw some money at me before I talk about that fucking garbage fire.
It makes me
Yeah,
wonder. Like, I know that the Fluffy community doesn't advertise, but like, who would even advertise on that?
Wait, who would advertise on the Fluffy community? Like, which
Yeah.
product would put an ad on Fluffy community?
We used to do the product placement. Well, it was an advertisement. Who was it? It was me and I think Menthol did all the time to fuck around. Where it was like, this Fluffcast is brought to you by Fleshlight. Fleshlight, go fuck yourself. So we had that for a while, but other than that, yeah, I could see Bad Dragon doing it.
I once was with a company and we almost got a Bad Dragon sponsorship. But
Really
guy,
now?
yeah.
Roll
What's
Tide.
the story
Yeah.
behind that?
So basically, you're not gonna. Okay, you know what? All right,
I would be
it's a bit
curious.
of a story. It's a bit of a story. So basically, I was hosting Hearthstone tournaments on 4chan, and they were pretty popular. People really liked tuning into them. And there was
I love this story already. Please.
yeah. They were great. People would show up. We had like storylines and shit, like where this one guy would play cards that weren't very common or very, very used. They're considered bad cards, but he would play them in their golden, like their foil versions, and people would lose their shit. Like, oh my god, he's dropping golden Yetis against this like really good known deck. This guy's a fucking legend. And we had, so it was a lot of fun. People really got engaged in the players. It was a good community building thing. There was this fella coming out of the TF2 threads who was trying to start, like, I guess this conglomerate where he would like host events for different games using the mid-10s 4chan atmosphere. and he tried doing it with Hearthstone. And I put a stop to. I didn't know what he was up to really, so I just kind of said, "Yo, we kind of have our own thing going. We just want to do independent, whatever. Bye bye." Now this guy was like, "Oh shit, the infrastructure for all these other communities isn't really set up, but the Hearthstone guys have a good thing going. This is a good place for me to plant my seed." So he comes in, we get a verified Discord, the whole 9 yards, a huge fucking 128 man wild tournament. It's a big fucking event, you know what's going on here. And one day he says, "Yeah, we got just scored us a sponsorship with Bad Dragon. We're gonna be the next tournament's gonna be hosted by Bad Dragon." And I was like, "No fucking way. Well, are you gonna send me a check?" And he's like, "The money's in transit right now," or some shit like that. Whatever. Eventually, he had to do away. We were hosting have a Discord server, and the owner of the Discord server was just some humble guy who really didn't plan on like hosting this server for the big events or whatever. But it turned out that way. So this literal nobody, this guy maybe didn't have the most administrative skills, most people skills, was now all of a sudden in charge of this big important event, or at least facilitating the environment for it. Yeah. And he got banned one day. He got eliminated from the server one day. And
His own server.
No. Okay, sorry. I forgot to mention. We transitioned from his server to a new server. That was the official one. My apologies.
Fair enough.
So he was still respected. You know, we was just like, "Yo, this guy's been good. He's responsible. We're gonna keep him on as a moderator for the community." And this guy, what's it? I think his name was fuck. It wasn't Etho. It was NGO. NGO was the scammer here. He kicked out Randolph, and Randolph was gone. And I woke up to find Randolph gone. Randolph tells me that NGO has been trying to eliminate people at the top or some shit, so that way he can conglomerize power. It was fucking bullshit. It was just some bullshit. We just wanted to have fun. We didn't want this fucking money. Even Bad Dragon sponsorship be damned. So I just told NGO, "Yo, I host these events. I stream them. You're gone, buddy." So I told everyone, "Get the fuck out of here. We're done with this fucking scammer." And finally, reports start coming in. Apparently, this NGO guy is really bad news. He is a millionaire furry who is obsessed with Dota 2 and TF2, and he made his fortune off of scamming kids for their inventory items in TF2 and Diablo 2 on the marketplace.
Wow.
So
Jesus.
we sort of got rid of we got rid of him. We put a big red flag on everything he did, and that's how I got my Bad Dragon sponsorship and then lost it.
Jesus.
It was I feel stupid telling that story because to me it's just some dumb shit, just a bunch of kids trying to have fun and one kid taking it way too far. That's how I see it. But
That's how a lot of things went, because that happened the same way I lost like the TF2 servers I used to be a part of, where it got to the point where there were actual thoughts of sabotage. There was actual sabotage attempts made because originally the servers I played for was called Blind Old Man's Playground, and they put one guy's name who played under the name Blind Old Man, and then there was another guy named Hutch, and then there was another guy named Maestro. They all three own and ran this. Maestro and Blind Old Man went one way, Hutch went another. I was better friends with Hutch, so I went with them. So we started to take off. Like, we had all our servers stayed full around the clock. Like, even the obscure ones we had, like 2 Fort Rainy. That was the one I ran because people loved it and I like rain. So like, I'm gonna be on a rainy atmosphere. It's cool. But we started getting these people come in and they would just mic spam and, drop the gamer word and stuff like that. And we found out they were all affiliated with Blind Old Man and Maestro. So I was sitting here, I was like, TF2 espionage is a whole new thing I did not know about and did not want to know about, but now I do. So, yeah, I kind of know where you're coming from. Like, just people taking shit way too seriously.
I just
Everybody's piece of internet is the most important thing on the internet.
Yeah.
Also, I put my Queek in FluffCast. I found him.
Let me see here. I'll get him up in a moment. I think I've had him on the stream before, but fuck it, I like it.
I think
too.
you have. I'm not sure. I can't remember.
I like it a lot personally, so I don't care.
Yeah, I think I might actually have just the raw here. Hold on.
Now, I might bogart this up too, but since we're coming up with the 1-year anniversary of the site opening up, the new site, Fluffy Community, apparently there was a bit of a race to see who could actually get the new Buru replacement up when the Buru went down.
Mhm.
Apparently, it was just a race to see who the fuck could actually get a working architecture going. And Virgil had the most competence. He called up his cousin. He might correct me on this, but he called up his cousin or his brother or something, and they said, "Yo, let's just get this thing going in my brother's attic for a bit before they finally replace the tech or the computer." And yeah, now I got the site. Where can I replace? My boy Cetra. I love Cetra from fucking. There was a couple young kids who really tried their best to host a new Fluffy too. Host a new Fluffy site. I think there was a replacement up in particular within like 2 hours of it going down, but it was just
Mhm.
like your basic Boru architecture, and the guy did not know how to properly work within the system or the code or some shit, the scripts to make it serviceable for what the website actually needed.
Yeah.
I know that you can do a lot with how these websites are built, because I know Equestria Daily just uses Blogger, but they heavily modified Google's Blogger to turn Equestria Daily into what it is right now. Equestria Daily is the big My Little Pony news site, for those who don't know. I think
Back in the day, I was a 6-star writer on there.
you were a 6-star writer on Equestria Daily?
Yep.
What does that mean?
It means it was considered one of the best stories on the site.
Oh, okay,
Oh,
okay.
shit.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
Roll Tide.
Well, that's just it. Like, I've been writing shit since I was 16, but that was like the first time I ever posted a story, and they were like, 6 stars, this is fabulous. It's like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. I'm an amateur. But they liked it, so.
Reminds me a lot of what Sir Christopher Lee said when it comes to success early. You just need to make sure you temper it. Because if you start at the top, well, there's only one way to go. But that's good for you. That's wonderful to hear that you got that 6-star story so quickly.
So that was the first thing I thought of when I entered that Warhammer fiction contest, and I actually I made the editor's list the first time on the short stories, and I was like, wait a minute, did I just peak? Fuck,
Or was it a flash in the pan?
I can't tell which one it is. But I did get back on the editor's list. I've never actually won the fast fiction contest. It's all 1,000-word stories. I think I've got about 6 stories out of the 8 they've run, but I've only placed twice, and both stories were bleak as fuck. And I was like, oh, maybe I should just write more sad shit.
Well, there is the question of what are you good at writing versus what do you enjoy writing?
That's the thing. Like I found out because the first story I wrote was the one that placed was about a dying space marine remembering that he is actually human. And then the second one that placed was about a guardsman basically losing his faith in the emperor because he's alone on a planet. It's literally I called it "The Emperor Doesn't Live Here Anymore," and it's just a guy having like a crisis of fate because he's got survivor's guilt. So I was like, "Fuck, okay, maybe I am really good at sad things." It's like
That's great.
it's like when I'm drawing sometimes. It's like I like to draw adult themes because it's fun. But then it's like I'll draw something half-assed and cute. They're like, "Hey, fun, let's draw Corona dressed as Vivi." And I drew it and I was like, "Why did this turn out so good? Am I good at drawing cute things? I don't know if I want to be good at drawing cute things. This is kind of fucked up." So that's one of those things. It's like you said, when you find out what you're good at versus what you want to be good at, and you're like, "Oh boy."
I wish I knew what I was good at.
Same.
Just keep trying shit until you find something that is passable.
Yeah, I don't fucking just try everything. Shit.
I think my calling so far, depending on how it's going, might be bad book reviews and reading stories as an orc.
I genuinely think you hit gold with that.
There are
I
worse
did.
things to be bad at. Are there?
Yep.
Excuse me. There are worse things to be good at.
It's true.
It reminds me of talking like an orc. In 2 months, I'm gonna have to post the "Twas the Night Before Orcsmas."
That's it. And like I said earlier, in 2 months, my birthday comes around. If I get 100 followers on Twitch, I'm reading all of my Immortal. So, and I'm going to record it,
No, you
and
can't. You won't
I will pull
survive.
it. I'm going to do it. By God, my mama ain't raised no coward yet.
But you've all heard the "'Twas the Night Before Orcsmas," right?
Yeah.
Yes, I have.
I don't think I have. I'll have to look it up.
Same guy
Oh.
that made the "Hero Quest is so great" video. That Australian with the giant beard, the great big bushy beard.
Oh, this is actually kind of long. See here. My name is Ebony the Mitchell Ravenway. 'Twas a night before Christmas, and all through the rock, not a creature was stirring, not even a grot. When out of the hall there rose such a clatter, the big mech sprang up to see what was the matter. To his workshop I followed and made myself hid, wanting to see what I'd roused him and what he did. When what to my wondering eyes should appear but a mighty truck pulled by 8 huge squig deer, with a huge God, okay, I'm sorry. That word fucked me up. With a huge ironclad driver and a great ivory tusk, I knew that St. Nicholas must be upon us. As dry leaves that before the wild hurricane fly, when they meet with an obstacle mount to the sky. So through the mech's workshop the squig deer they flew, with a truck full of what only Nicholas knew. He was clad in red steel from his head to his foot, and the armor glowed, though it was tarnished with soot. His eyes, they burned fiercely. His mouth was a slash. His touch sharp as razors. His face stained with ash. The stump of a bone he held clenched in his teeth, and a witch light encircled his head like a reef. And the light of his eyes and his ominous red soon gave to me known mankind had much to dread. He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work, and filled the workshop, then turned with a jerk. For sensing perhaps that I lay here nearby, he stepped into nothing, and that was goodbye. But I heard his fell growl ere he slipped out of sight. Happy Orkmas to all, and all a good fight.
I moved
fucked
to
that up
tears.
pretty bad.
Bucket fucking bars. Absolute
I've-
bars.
I fucked it up a little bit, but I'll practice it before Christmas.
And with
I can't wait.
I'll
And I don't even like Christmas.
if you if you can get like a decent little recording thing going with maybe some soundproofing, there's something there. There's something huge there.
hopefully by Christmas it'll cool off, because the only reason I don't have you hear any kind of background noise with me at the moment is because I have fans on, because it's still 80 fucking degrees.
And it's September.
It's October.
October.
What the fuck? It's worse than that. Mom.
It'll be 80 degrees in Mississippi till probably after Thanksgiving, and I might see a couple 70-degree days.
Have you ever seen snow?
A time or two. Actually, it snowed here. I actually live on the Gulf Coast. I live literally 2 miles from the beach, and it has snowed down here once or twice.
Wait a second. Wiener's in the chat. Hey, Wiener. I'm sorry. Interrupt. Wiener, I want to show you. Wiener, look, it's you. Wiener, it's you. All right, enough of that. Man. No, but yeah.
I've got this bookmark. I will practice Orctus.
For soundproofing, it might work to just what was I gonna say? You might just want to throw like a blanket over your head while you record, so that way you don't get any of the echoes off the walls. Yeah, reverberations.
I've got a decent sound sock on it. Like if I take this off, this is basically what it sounds like with me having no covering on this mic.
Mm-hmm.
But I do have some covering to it. But yeah, I've heard the blanket thing, but I haven't tried that yet.
I tried it when I was doing some recordings for my last unicorn video, and it worked tremendously. It's actually genius.
Because I'm gonna need it. Hopefully, like I said, I can get to the 100 followers, and I'll be able to do the My Immortal Orc stuff and see what happens.
What is that? Twitch.tv/Funkshire?
That's the one.
So you're telling me I can watch Funkshire content at twitch.tv/Funkshire?
Yes, sir, you can. I can tell you right now, and this is the shilliest I'll get. You can. No, it's basically most of the people you see from here. Like, I'm sorry to shill myself on here, but
it don't matter. It don't matter.
Chill.
Yeah,
please.
I've got a pretty set schedule where it's always Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I'm arguing if I'm going to do a stream tonight. I've been trying to do Saturday night streams, but I've been kind of bad about announcing them. So I'm like, oh, well, nobody's going to show up. Or last time I had such bad technical difficulties that I had to just shut it down.
Yeah, I heard about that. I'm sorry, dude.
No, it was basically everything decided to shit itself, and I was like, what is going on here?
Now, I don't want to. No, I don't want to embarrass this one person. They know who they are, but there are people who see that you announce a stream and assume that you like, because of your personality and how confident you are and the way you're able to I guess just to express yourself and make jokes and constantly seem to be in control of yourself. People think that when you go live, you're the master of it. You're king streaming, and they're intimidated to stream around you.
Oh no, like I'll tell you right now, I get nervous as fuck before I do it sometimes because it's like
it's me. I get nervous.
It's Kibbles. He didn't want me to
You're
say
you're
anything.
just you're just the best Funkshire. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I just love you so much.
Kibbles, I do it because you believe in me. You know, like legit. When I'm by myself, it's a lot harder. A lot of times, I just put on music and bullshit. But I'm glad that I do have like a really good supporting cast of people who come on with me and we'll hang out, play games, whatever we can get into, because it just makes it more fun. We've got some good stuff. Like I said, Menthol's been doing clips of like our Man versus Machine nights, and some of them are absolute gold. And I'm very happy to share those with him, and I'm happy he's finding something that he likes to do and he's good at.
Now what?
But
I need to close
go ahead.
things out, but Vander, is there anything you'd like to say to end here?
Oh, let's see.
Anything you
Believe
wanna
in
talk about?
yourself, because who the fuck else is going to?
Yes.
All right. Patrick, anything you want to say to close this out? Good talk, Patrick. Kibbles, please speak some knowledge to me.
So Carlos Hathcock is the most decorated sniper in American history, and he went by the call sign White Feather.
All right, and Funkshire, you've talked a bit about your streams. To close us out here, what's a clear and concise? What would you say is the best advice to just get into content creation? Would you say?
Your first anything you're going to put out is going to suck. Just put it out there. That'll put the worst behind you and go ahead. You're going to have horrible, really bad streams. You're going to make pictures you're not proud of. You're going to have a song that sounds out of key. Something bad's going to happen. The good news is you can put it behind you and keep going. It's not going to kill you. I've shown some of my earlier art. I've shown some of my later art that was fucking terrible. I've had good streams and bad streams. I've had just all kind of mess. The point is just do it, because if you don't do it, then you'll never get started. Because the most clear and concise way I put it, the best time to start anything is 5 years ago. The second best time to start is now. So keep that in mind.
That's wonderful. Gentlemen, thank you for coming in tonight. I very much appreciate the time you spent to talk to me for these 2 hours.
Thank you for having us.
Oh my goodness. It's my pleasure. Always, always. But that's time for us to wrap it up. Thank you once again, everybody, for tuning in and participating in the FluffCast. It means the world to me. Gentlemen, have a nice night. We'll talk to you later.
Here, I love you. Bye-bye.
Later, guys.
Bye-bye. And with that, I say personally, goodbye to you, FluffCast. Have an excellent evening. And don't forget, we're going to have the after party. Maybe we'll play some games in the Discord. Who knows? But until next week, I'll see you. Bye-bye.